Buona domenica, Alfredo. Ciao, everyone.
Hey,
Good morning. How you
I know
doing in
you.
Sicily? Boy, I'm counting down the days to get back. It's been a wonderful visit, but I'll tell you what, I'm ready to return to my beloved Sicilia. But I hear the weather's getting cold over there too, huh?
Yep, it's. I even have my heavy winter sweater on today because it's right now the temperature's getting supposed to get down to like 50 degrees. But 50 degrees here is a lot colder than 50 degrees in the United States because we have no insulation in our house. It's just reinforced concrete and iron there, the rods. That's it. So it's chilly, chilly. Still haven't put on the
Now
heat
we're
though.
Now, this is the weekend before Thanksgiving, so just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving because we won't see you guys until next Sunday. We're going to have a big Thanksgiving here at our house, and my sister and I are going to be cooking. My mom bought the turkey yesterday, 13 pounds. That'll be perfect for several meals. And Al, I've got your roasted chicken ordered with potatoes and some sides for you. Now, I want to know, I have, by the way, the cranberry sauce all set to bring you home because we can't find cranberry sauce in Sicily. But what else am I going to have to bring you? What else do you want me to bring you?
I think everything you're gonna bring me my new Austin prep jacket, which my son gave me for present, and I haven't seen except for pictures of it. And I'm gonna wear it all the time because it's one of those insulated deals on the inside. So now's the time to wear it. I'm happy about that. That's for sure. I want to have Thanksgiving here with Phil Grosso, Mr. Phil Grosso. That guy's a
And his
piece of
nephew.
work. He's north of
80?
75. How old is he?
What is 75? He's like 80 something,
Uh, so
bebopping
he's
all
here.
over Sicily.
Yeah, but he's here with his cousin, first cousin that he hadn't seen in 20 years, right? And these guys have zipped hither and yon for the last 2 weeks all over the place. It's like crazy how much traveling these guys have done.
Good
And
for
I've
them.
invited them to come here. Yeah, we're going to have a quote unquote Thanksgiving here, the three of us. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to that.
And like I
So
said, I have your chicken and potatoes all ready for delivery. So listen, I put it out there, and for those of you watching live, we'll take your questions in just a little bit. But someone wrote on one of my Facebook pages, I'm in Italy right now, and I'm trying to decide whether to get a panettone or a Pandora. Which, by the way, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. And even before I left, there were already some Christmas decorations out. The first week of November, that's a bit early. So the question was panettone or Pandora. And, those are two different cakes. They're made two different ways. Pandora, I don't know about you, Al. Pandora more of an Easter thing. Panettone for me is more of a Christmas thing. We like the panettone from Fiasconado, which is in the province of Palermo. There's a lot of other, you know, styles out there. Cremeli is very good. But for me, between panettone and Pandora, they're both available right now. But for me, Christmas is more of a panettone. What about you?
it's kind of funny you mentioned that because today I bought one because Phil's coming over here. And I'm not sure whether Phil has ever had a fresh one because by the time they get into the States, the ones that are in the States, they were shipped in August or September, right? Because they're on the sea for 6 weeks. So I was walking by today, and this new company from Bronte, uh, I bought one, a pistachio with the pistachio cream on the inside, and I have it
That's
on
my
top of the
favorite.
refrigerator. Yeah, but well, if it's any good, I'll go back and buy it. I mean, I'll make a decision before you get here. It's not as big as the traditional ones, but
Mhm.
and it doesn't have any insect flour in it. So why don't you
Now,
ask me what about that
oh my God,
insect?
like that was so ridiculous. I saw someone post, I mean, we talked about this before because it's been out that they're using insect flour for the panettone. Oh, come on. Maybe one place, maybe they're testing it out, but your traditional panettone, trust me, is not made with insect flour.
I was so irritated to read that. You have no idea. I tracked down that company, number one, and that particular company is one of those whole food, natural food, things, and it's in development, but it's not commercially available yet. I'm sure that it'll go over like a lead balloon in Sicily if they ever try to hook. But I checked 30 different panettones here to look at the ingredients. All right. And, they were all fine. It's, for heaven's sake, it's ridiculous.
They'd be outraged. They'll be marching on the streets against that. They'll be,
Crazy, huh?
trust me,
The
there'd be an
prices are
outrage against that.
like the cheap ones, uh, they're like $9, $10. And the good ones
Yeah,
go all the way up. Like Finiscone, your company there, those things are quite expensive. How, I don't know, $50, $60. So
like
they're all
30.
different price.
I
Yeah,
did
all
that.
different price
Oh,
points.
someone's here and wants to say hello. Over
Okay.
here. Come in. Okay. Hmm? Here, sit down.
Oh,
Sit
the other
down.
way.
Sit
You got to
down.
go the other way.
Sit.
Oh my goodness.
Look
I
over here.
love you. It's so nice to see you.
I hear you now. Thank you. And I wanted to ask, how is your bachelor life going?
It's very lonely without Esther. And the only time I talk is when she calls me up, and then that's about it. My daughter Jennifer is in Scotland. She's spending Thanksgiving with her daughter Rose, who's going to the University of Glasgow. And she went there with her son and JR. So I haven't heard from them yet. I'm assuming everything is okay. What do you think? Let me ask you a question. What do you think about the Jubilee coming up now? The Pope has announced that it's the year of the Jubilee starting in December, and
Yes.
Italy is like bracing for millions and millions and millions of travelers to come here. Because if you go to Rome and you walk through the big doors getting into St. Peter's, you're entitled to a plenary indulgence. Has that gotten around to the churches in United States or St. Augustine's, which are very,
No,
no?
no, so far nothing much. So far
Ah,
nothing much.
because you know who really
But
makes a lot of money on that? The airlines. The airlines make a ton of money on that. The prices are very expensive right now, and the hotel folks. So what can I say?
I feel that there is an appetite and craving some spirituality, and I think that that's one of the reasons people go to Rome. I
You know,
remember when
it.
I went in 2001, just before 9/11, and we went to the audience of the Pope on Wednesday morning, and my church's choir was singing. They were asked to sing, and after I left, I said, "Okay, I'm all set. I can die now," because so much I got out of it. So
Yeah,
probably others feel the same way.
I remember back in
And
1998, I got a private audience with John Paul the Great, Pope John Paul, the Saint John Paul, and I was invited to his, the mass that he said, and I was sitting no more than 15 feet away from him. And really, that's one of the highlights of my life, honestly, because, a couple times in my life, I felt the presence of God. That was one day right there. The other time is when I went to the Church of Francis of Assisi, in Assisi, in that church. Those are two very,
yeah,
very
I
good
know that
churches.
we went there with our choir. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So I wanted to wish you a quiet, happy Thanksgiving. And I'm so happy that my eldest is here and I can heal my fractured spine really well, really well. I don't have to do anything. So
there you
thank you,
go.
Audrey.
I'll be there. I'll be there April the 15th. I'm coming home April the
Okay,
15th. So I will see
okay,
you then.
I mark on my planner. Okay,
Okay.
good to
Love you.
see
Ciao,
you.
ciao. Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Well, that was a nice little treat from my mother. You okay? She's plugging along that one. Fractured back or no fractured back. Peach
She's
is
a mensch,
already
that
cleaning
one.
up. Look at that.
She's a mensch.
I got to tell you, Al, listening to the two of you talk about the Vatican and Pope, and you and I went there in twice
Yeah.
to the Vatican, but I didn't get to go actually inside. I went into which church did we go into? Was it the Basilica
Of St. Peter's.
of St. Peter? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, that was a good point to bring up that the Jubilee is coming up. But I get this question all the time. I've been doing a bunch of consults out because people are gearing up for their tours in Sicily, and everyone is sort of talking about those traveling here. People are talking about, oh, is this going to impact my flight? Should I be worried, et cetera, et cetera? Is there another way? And well, let me tell you, there are other European countries where you can fly into and come down to Catania or Palermo. You can go through Munich, through Ireland, through several, through
London,
Amsterdam,
Paris, Amsterdam.
London, Paris. There you go. So you don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to go through Rome. People ask me about flying from Milan. There's not as many flights as you have from Rome. It's a bit more complicated to Milan, but I would say if you're coming and you haven't bought your ticket yet, look at flying through another country, not Rome.
And don't forget,
That's what
those
I have.
coming from the US can always fly direct starting in May from JFK to either
Yes.
Palermo or to Catania. There's a new, and I think I was reading about some of the bigger carriers are getting involved in that. As a matter of fact, right now, the Catania airport is working very furiously on a new runway because they know that, and underneath they're going to have the train so you can go whatever you have to go to. So things are happening for that, for sure.
Now, we should mention that that may cause some interruptions in the Catania airport because I believe they're going to be close to 6 a.m. now. So that 6
6
a.m.
a.m. Yeah,
flight
it's
will
going to
be,
be, no, it's going to be 12 to 6. Yeah, 12 midnight to 6 for
yeah,
3 months,
a.m.
starting in June or starting in May,
Yeah.
excuse me. So yeah, and at nighttime, the work will be done at night. So the only thing that's going to be a little hairy is going to be that 6 o'clock flight out of Catania to get to Rome to make that connecting flight. But I'm sure that they'll take that into consideration. They're not gonna, mess around with that too much.
Now, I want to give a big shout out and happy birthday to our friend B Green, B and Dawn, who's celebrating
Yeah.
her birthday. She's a dear friend and will be joining us on our September tour. She's been with us on several tours. Dear friends, and I'm so looking forward to seeing them. I hope you enjoy your day, B. Have a great one. Now, I'm just going to ask you guys if you have any questions for us. If James said if I was there, I would go to Sig to get some cranberry sauce. I've got a couple of cans ready for Al. Thank you. Okay. Uh, Michael Kaufman is here. I'm looking forward to spending New Year's Eve with him and Jen. Get their dancing shoes on. Peter,
If Mike
Stephanie,
Kaufman is
and
on
Jean are
board,
here. What's that?
yeah. If Mike Kaufman is on board, I have a little thing I need to talk to him about after you're finished what you're going to say. Okay. I did some research for Mike.
Well, if you want, why don't we do this? Why don't I take the question that came from Paul? Is it possible to stay in Sicily while getting an elective residency visa? I've heard that you can get an extension of your tourist visa passport that allows you to remain in Sicily. Would this involve getting a permesso di giorno? Grazie, Alfred and Esther. I wanted to take that.
No, the answer is no. You have to get the elective residency visa back home in your home consulate. Okay. That's Paul. That's what the long and the short of it. And in either case, if you're going to be here for a while, you really need to go. If you have any other type of visa, within 8 days of landing, you have to go to the questura and get what they call the permesso di soggiorno, which is permission to stay here. Okay, there's a form you have to fill out, and etc. Okay, so the answer is no. But just so you know, Esther, this week I've received over 40 uh, emails from people uh, inquiring about elective residency visa. And out of the 40, I would say 35 of them are considering it for the wrong reason. And, you can't go from the frying pan to the fire, so to speak. Okay. The first thing that you really have to remember is that Italy is a foreign country. It's not Little Italy or on Mulberry Street or in Bensonhurst in Brooklyn or whatever like that. Foreign country with foreign rules, foreign regulations, foreign culture, and you are a straniere, okay? Well, Sicilians are accepting, and Esther is like exhibit number one for being accepted, is my Esther. Generally speaking, some of the communities, especially the smaller communities, are kind of closed. All right. So the first thing I ask people is, well, have you ever been to Italy? And out of 40 people that I've discussed this with the last couple of weeks, 35 of them says, well, no, this will be my first time. So I think the first thing you really have to do is you have to do some tire kicking. You have to come here, and that's it. I mean, basically, you have to spend some time here because there's a whole list of requirements that you have to fulfill with the consulate back home. And by the way, those guys that are looking at you across the table, those individual consuls, they run their own fiefdom. Okay, so what is good for one consulate may not be good for another one. It's been crazy listening to stuff. But Mike asked me a question a couple of weeks ago. He asked me, what's the scoop for the finances that you have to show in the process of getting an elective residency visa? There's a lot of different things that you have to do. One of them is they want to make sure you're not going to become a ward of the state. Come here with, $4 in your pocket. Okay. So now they've upped the requirement to 31,000 euro per person. Okay. So if husband and wife come in, that's it's over 60,000 euro. So that could be, I don't know, $70,000, 75,000 US dollars, depending on what the currency exchange rate is. You've got to show that you've got passive income. Okay. Not money in the bank, passive income. Now, what's passive income? Well, the first thing it's pensions. You have a pension, you have Social Security, that's great. Does your wife have one? That's great too. Number two, annuity. Annuities are very good to have. They send you a set amount of money every single solitary month. Investment dividend, not the investment itself, but the dividends that the investment yields. Okay, that's a big difference. Okay. Number four, rental income that has been stable and is not a fabrication. You've got to establish that. And then finally, the last thing you have to have is trust fund distributions. You have a trust fund. Are you getting a regular amount of money? So those are the things that you need to have to establish that you're financially, ready to come over here according to them. That's one of the requirements. So, Mike, redo this video, and then there's a lot of other stuff to do, including you have to bring in also 2 years of tax return. You have to write a letter now. Why do you want to come here? Right? You have to rent a place. You have to show them a lease, a signed lease. Crazy. There's so many requirements now. And this is a result, like I said to you before, these changes that happened last October with the whole minor issue. Okay. This has happened because the United States of America and Canada have zero representation in the Italian parliament. Zero. The senators that they used to have, they nixed them out. And the government here got elected on the proviso that they were going to stop illegal migration from North Africa. And these laws, and the government got elected, they're in the majority. These laws are really meant to stop migration, which, by the way, it is. But the United States of America, because it has, like I've said before, sash wearing cannoli eaters that really don't do anything. They think they do a lot, but they don't in terms of this issue. Okay. There's really nobody that's the white knight in the United States of America that's looking for, citizenship by blood. Okay. And taking import. And I've talked about this before, E, and it's going to be a problem. And I'm assuming it's going to get worse before it gets better. All right. So that's what I wanted to say about this issue. It's a very important issue. Come here for 3 months. Make sure you like it. Do plenty of tire kicking. And don't forget, with your American passport, you can come here 90 days, and then you have to leave the EU for 90 days, and then you can come back for 90 days. On a rolling basis, you can come back for 180 days a year. It's plenty. My brother Tommy goes to Florida every year for 4 months. I mean,
Great information, honey.
snowbirds. What?
Great information, honey.
All
As
right.
always. Jennifer, I want to say congratulations to you guys. I know that was a tough battle for you guys to get everything
Yep,
all
she went
set. And
through it.
now,
Jen went through it, and her husband.
but she came here and drove around and did her thing, did her due diligence, as they say, due diligence. Thank you, Peter Scipoletti. Everyone hit the like. And, we can do more videos on visas because I think there's a lot of interest for people. And as you know, Alfred is an attorney and he does work with another attorney, Massimo, in Sicily. So if you guys want more information, certainly he's available to do that. I want to just switch gears a little bit because I'm bringing you some gifts home, honey. Number one is the
Hey,
You
it's a
Muse
new
and
hat, a
Sicily
summer
cap,
hat.
brand new.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I like it. I
brand
like
new.
it.
And that's in our YouTube shop. Then finally, you requested a Sicily shirt, black with the red letters. That's
That's
also,
going to look
by the way,
great
this
with
is
a
an
pair of
Arm and Hammer.
dungarees and a sport jacket.
This is an Arm and Hammer one. So it's a
No,
good
Arm and
quality
Hammer.
one.
What do you mean? Is that the brand?
I
Arm and
mean,
Hammer?
not Arm and Hammer. What the heck is that called? You know what I
Armorall?
mean.
Under Armour.
Armor. Thank
No,
you.
Under
Arm and
Armour.
Hammer. Why did I think it? And then here's another great T-shirt with the lemons in our shop, brand new, Sicily. And then this one I particularly like, Al. Just came in.
Let me see. Oh, good.
Stockings. This will be lovely for our holiday party, Christmas party that we're having. Then, no, that's it.
And they're all available in the
Those
United
are the
States
things
for
I'm all.
immediate shipment. Right?
Yep, because I got these, so I wanted to see that the quality was good. I wanted to see how the designs looked. I particularly like this lemon design that I have here. So
That's great.
that's that. Okay.
You did a good job designing that stuff, Bunny.
Thanks, honey. Now, Travis has been asking this. He would love to come to Sicily for 8.
Wait a minute. I
I
can't
do
hear
have
you.
to
Okay.
say, 1 second. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you before.
I do want to say something that I have been, some of our clients and friends have asked me to look for some short-term rentals. And I want to tell you that it is incredibly difficult to find short-term rentals. And I've spoken to several real estate agents because they wanted someone that would stay for a little bit of longer time. So in terms of getting a month or 2 months or even 3 months may be a little bit difficult, but certainly um, Idealista, there are realtors here, and like I said, we work with some realtors, but specifically to get 1, 2 months, and going back to Mike, I know he's looking for 3 months, and I have to email him because I did find one, but it is a difficult thing. There's plenty of availability. Not that there isn't availability, but like I said, the realtors, the people who are renting it out, they'll do it for summer, for summertime because it's very busy. But when it comes to off season, they're perhaps less likely. Um,
Well, may I
Mike,
offer an idea? Facebook
Mike says,
Marketplace in the town that you're looking for. Try that.
what's that?
Facebook Marketplace in the
Yeah,
specific town. You can go to Facebook Marketplace, say, for example, for Architrezza, Archie Castello, Catania, Taormina, Palermo, etc. And you may find something that way, okay? But if the contact information has a England, Britain email, okay, those are third-party guys that are making a nice little layer of profit in
but that's
between you.
okay. They help find it. I mean, I know a couple of companies that do it, and if they can get it done, why not? They earned their their worth. But the other thing I want to say real quick about rentals is that it's going to be difficult too to find a place that's fully furnished, right? Fully furnished for only several months. Now I think everything in our apartment complex is taken up, right, Al?
Yeah, and number two, they really listen. Here's the big issue, okay, is that watch out for these Airbnb folks, okay, because they've been clamping
Yeah,
down on them, okay. There are good ones, but the Airbnb folks, starting 2 years ago, have to be registered with the fiscal authorities, all right? So, like a place like ours, for example, I'm not sure whether it's zoned to have short-term resident people over here. Okay. As a
yeah,
matter of fact, I'm quite sure it's not. It's a residential gated community. But that doesn't stop people from, trying. All right. So
yeah,
trust but verify. Okay. That's why you need to come over here, do your tire kicking yourself, be diligent about it. Okay. And if you're going to be here and sign a year lease with a 1 year option while you're going through a process, any type of process, make sure they register that lease. Okay. They have to
yeah.
register that lease. Yeah. So there's a lot of steps that you have to go through.
Yeah, and I do have to say that you mentioned the Jubilee, Al, and that means there's a lot of people already coming, not necessarily to Sicily, but to Rome. But there's also a great interest in Sicily after Rome. So there's a lot of people coming to Sicily. I work with several hotels around the island, and a
Yeah.
lot of them are getting very busy for May. A lot of hotels are booked already May and September. So if you're planning on coming here and haven't uh, made your reservations, I strongly urge that you get your hotels and your flights checked. But before you buy your flights, check your hotels. Trust me, it's becoming quite an issue here.
Esther, not only that, um, that's a huge issue what you're discussing, huh? But everything is expensive right now in terms of see what these airlines are doing is they're jacking up the prices right now because people are panic buying. Typically you don't buy a ticket to go to Europe until 2025. You're not going to buy it in November or October. I mean, some people are like crazy in fear how much. And how is the business going? Well, the business is going pretty good for us, as evident by how many of our tours have already been sold out. And that's because people decided they got to come, they got to stay extended time, go up to Rome or
Yes.
go to someplace like that. And then they jump onto our tour with us to have a trip of a lifetime. I guess I think that's what's going on over here. Well, that's good, but just plan and
Shane
don't
says
delay.
I'm a hot rod car guy. Once we get citizenship process completed, are there any restricted on us buying a vehicle with citizenship?
Yes, you can buy a vehicle, but within 1 year of you becoming a citizen, you have to have an Italian license. Okay. And
but
then
in
let me just
terms of
finish that
buying,
off.
no.
The Italian
Yeah,
license test is administered in Italian. And
I
then
think it's a
and then it
B1.
includes also a psychological test, okay, and a physical test. It's far more difficult here
Yeah.
than the United States. And then for the first year, you're on they treat you like you're a 16-year-old first-time driver. You could only drive a car like a smart car, a small car, anything with a lot of horsepower, you can't drive. So again, before you dive in, check on these things. And then the biggest thing, of course, and Esther can attest to this, is trying to open up a bank account without a residency.
Mhm.
It's
Yep, it is a
it's
B1.
almost impossible. It's almost impossible. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of pitfalls on this
Listen,
whole thing.
all I know is my 11th year in Sicily, and I'm still reminded when I come back here, Sicily is a different country. Things run differently. It is
Yeah.
not saying easier or harder, just people to be aware that you are not. And Jennifer Curians and Paul and James Singer and all our friends who are on this chat right now attest to that. But things are a little bit more complicated. It just operates differently. We're talking different set of laws, different cultures, different systems. So people, when you go to Sicily, if you're planning on relocating, if you're planning on spending 3 months there, just be prepared that it is not the United States. Good or bad or indifferent, things operate differently. And that's that. And Jim Ingram confirmed that it is a B1 test that is required. But in terms of purchasing a vehicle, no, there shouldn't be any issue. Now, a lot of things also, uh, I wanted to say, yeah, patience is required. Yes, of course. Patience, I had to get a big dose of patience for sure. Jody DeLuca is here too. She can also attest to the fact that things just operate a bit differently in Sicily than that do in the United States, and you have to expect the unexpected, and that's piano, as they say. There you go,
My
Paul.
friend
That's
John,
exactly
my
what they
friend
say.
John,
Piano.
let me tell you about my friend John, okay? The guy's been here 20 years, 15, 20 years, okay? On his American passport. Okay. So now how does he do it? Well, as I told you, he could stay here 180 days a year. So what does he do
Hmm.
he stays here for 3 months, but he has an apartment that he rented in Tunisia for less than $300 a month, fully furnished.
Yeah,
Tunisia has got huge Italian population there. Matter of fact, most of the
yeah,
pasta nowadays that you are on our markets over here are made in Tunisia and for export throughout the EU with Italian workers and Italian machineries. It's a fabulous country, uh, historic like you can't believe. So he goes over there for 3 months. He takes a 50-minute flight to Tunisia, where the weather is great, the food is great, and after 3 months he comes back and he goes back and forth, and he's been
Paul.
doing it for years, and he's
Paul
happy.
Freighting has been. Paul Freighting does the same thing. Uh, he goes 3 months and 3 months. 3 months in Castellamare del Golfo. 3 months. I can't remember if he goes to the United States or where he goes, but it is doable. It is
Yes, it
definitely
is. Yeah,
something that's doable.
it is.
Uh,
I agree.
Jen, it's so fun to see members of our community saying hello because they've met. Jody and Jen met. Oh, and they're coming to our Christmas party. I'm so excited to see them at our Christmas party when I come back. So that's going to be a
Have
lot
you,
of fun.
have
Uh,
you
mm,
decided on a menu yet?
you know what I was thinking about, Al? I was thinking about what items could I bring back that our Italian friends, our Sicilian friends would enjoy. Like
something that's so American that we can. I'm definitely bringing some Hungarian sausage because last time that was very
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
popular. And then I'm trying to think of, I know this sounds funny, you guys, but Sicilians and Italians, they love American products, as evident by all the American products, American style products that are now in supermarkets all over Sicily. You can get Doritos, Pringles, salsa, stuff like that. So I want to bring something that you
I have an
truly
idea.
cannot find in Sicily. And what is that, Al?
Maple syrup flavored cookies from a bakery shop. Maple
That's an
syrup.
interesting thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Something sweet, because we're going to serve them something sweet. Am I correct?
We are, but I don't want to serve panettone. I do not want to serve
No,
panettone.
don't do
I do not want to
panettone.
serve
Are we going
anything
to
like
make our
that
world
Italian.
famous Esther and Alfred meatballs?
Let's talk about that.
They love them.
Let's talk about that. Nick says Mazzara del Ballo has a very large Sicilian population. You're right. Also, places, San Vito Lo Capo also has a large, because Tunisia is closer to Sicily than actually Rome and other places. Um, rum balls, huh? Now that's an interesting thing. Let me think about it. Let me
Lemon
think about
tarts.
that one. Lemon tarts. Now that's something you may
Tip-
not find in Sicily.
Yeah, but I mean, they would get crushed in your luggage.
Yeah,
They would
let,
get,
let's
I mean,
uh,
you would
let's
have to
examine
hold them.
that.
You would have to hold them. You would have to hold them on your lap, or else they got to get all crushed. Which
Well, we got
reminds me
to
of
figure something out
my
because I
favorite
definitely want
Christmas
to do.
story.
Huh?
Did I tell my quick favorite Christmas story?
No, no, because this is the Thanksgiving edition.
Well, it's a
This is the
Christmas story
Thanksgiving.
that's
You
leading up.
you
I mean,
have enough
Thanksgiving
of
edition
your.
leading into Christmas.
I want to say a quick hello uh, to the Sicilian Life. They've got a great YouTube channel as well. Nice to see you guys. Are you guys in Sicily or are you back here? I'm in US right now. Al is in Sicily. Nice to see you guys. You know who was on the chat here too was my Pilates teacher. That was really fun to see her here. Bourbon. Ray Messina. Ciao, Ray Messina. Boy, did I have a good time with Ray and his sister-in-law, Ruthie Messina, and Ray's wife, Joanne. We went to the Coliseum and had a fabulous dinner. And not a small world, not a coincidence, but yes, the bartender is Sicilian. The owner is Napolitano, if I remember correctly. Ray, can you
Enabling.
correct me if it Inibli, yes. And then the bartender is from Acciaiale. Like, hello. It was crazy. The Sicilian connection over there. And then Ray, Joanne, and I went to visit Ruthie, and I got a nice bottle of wine because, as some of you may know, Peter Messina not only was great at making Crisfelli and arancini, but he was also a winemaker. So, the spirit of Peter Messina lives on. He'll always be in our hearts. And so that was very special. Uh, after the holidays, we fly back in January. Great. Hope one of these days we can meet you. Rose,
Huh.
late to the channel Buona Domenica. We've covered so many things. All right. So here's what I want to say. Um, We have a couple minutes left. Al, will you save your Christmas story?
Can I
Is
tell
this
my
the one with your
Thanksgiving
brother?
story?
Can you tell? How about this? Tell your Thanksgiving story. Is this the one? Wait a sec. Let me guess. Is this the one that you went to Sigonella, or is this the one that you bought a turkey and couldn't fit into the oven?
Well, do you want me to tell my story?
I'm
I
just
used to live. This is BE before Esther. I used to live next to the guy that was the quartermaster at Sigonella, and my kids came over. My three kids came over, And so I asked him to bring me a turkey from Sigonella, the naval station, which he did. A 20-pound frozen turkey. Yeah, that took 4 days to thaw out. And as it was thawing out, it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It got too big for my little stove. So I ended up at the time, my dear mom was alive. I called her up. I says, "You have any ideas?" And she says, "Well, why don't you cook it? Why don't you cook it with the olive oil, salt, pepper, and rosmarino?" So we cut it up, and because the pieces fit okay, right, but not a big thing like that. And it was one of the most delicious turkeys we ever had. Thanks to my dear
That's
departed,
awesome.
lovely mother. And that's my Thanksgiving story, E. Long time
I
ago.
don't know how everyone else is cooking it. We're going to do it. You know what I've been doing the past few years? The way I do it in Sicily when I make turkey. And by the way, we can't buy an entire turkey in Sicily because they're ginormous. So for a thigh, they're like as big as my arm, practically.
Yeah.
I've been doing orange juice, lemon juice, rosemary, oregano, salt, pepper, hot pepper flakes. Wait a sec. Oh, thyme. That's my new recipe. So that's the way we're gonna cook it. So how are you? And of course, a little bit of olive oil. You must have
Oh,
the
I know what
olive
I
oil in
wanted,
there.
Esther. Now
Yeah.
you promised me that you were going to bring me back some good Merrimack Valley Chinese fried rice.
Yes, if I remember. Or did you wait a sec? Or I thought you wanted the blueberry muffin.
No, well, I'll have a blueberry muffin too, but I wanted the fried rice. I am just so jonesing for some good fried rice from the Merrimack Valley, like the house fried rice. Why not?
Hey, I didn't know JB Richard, who we've seen here. Thank you for your service. He was stationed in Cosmo. Very cool. Michael, Esther, may we call you today about the realty research? Yes, yes. I have some information that I got in yesterday. Fried turkey is the best. Everyone is saying that. Okay, deep fried,
Hi, Travis.
delicious.
Hi, Mike.
Uh, Thank you. Okay. All right. I think that's about it. I've got a bunch of things I have to do this afternoon, including
I have
going for a
one more
walk
thing to
with
talk
my
about.
dear friend. What's that?
One more thing. The Sicilian project.
Meet.
The Sicilian
Yes.
project,
Oh, that's
we
right.
started our raffle. Esther, can you give them the skinny on the raffle and how they can, our 60/40 raffle that we really need to get underway here?
Yep. Because we're doing brand new classes that are currently underway in Kanikati. We decided to expand to allow small business owners or workers to come and improve their English skills in those territories. And we have, like I said, a class in Connectivity. I think there's like 15 students, adults, and they're doing, business conversation classes that are so necessary. If you've been here to Sicily, you know that it's a big problem. English is a second language. The schools have lowered the number of hours that they're providing, so it is an issue for a lot of people. So we've been doing that, and we started the classes in Connecticut, and we'll be doing them in Achikatana in January, and we could certainly use your help in funding those. And there's on our Facebook, the Sicilian Project, there's a link. And also there is on the website, the SicilianProject.com, vitally important. That is separate from our Union in Sicily. The Sicilian Project is our nonprofit that was founded by Alfred, I believe, 13 years ago. I'm going to give a big thank you to the Sicilian Life. I love that what you both do for Sicily. God bless you, Carol Amato. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for that gift. We truly, truly appreciate it. And on that note, that's a good positive note to sign off here and wish all of you guys here, you guys are our family. You know, you're a virtual family. Many of you are now our friends. Uh, thank you and happy Thanksgiving. We wish you the best. Hopefully, you are going to be with family, with friends, and arrivederci, di voglio bene, Alfred. I'll be home in 1 week.
That means I have to
1 week.
mop the floors. Don't worry, I will. Anyways, have a blessed Thanksgiving. God bless everybody. We so appreciate everything that you do for us and for the Sicilian project. Sa benedigo. Ciao.
Have a great day, everyone.